Yeah, I thought it was overall pretty good season for us, for the program. Frustrated with how we ended the season. We were hoping to go further, in the conference tournament, and then obviously we were also eager to gain another national tournament berth. So, we were all pretty upset about that and down about that. But in hindsight, we definitely are proud about the season, and happy to see some growth of some of our young guys in the program, some of our core guys. I thought we did a lot of good things this year, we're very proud of the fact that we led the RMAC in rebounding, led the RMAC in assists, one of the top offenses, one of the top defenses, a lot of things going for us. And just a couple injuries down the stretch certainly didn't help. Jezza going down, a couple games and, towards the end, and Will certainly struggled with some back issues all the way through the end, and that hurt us, But I thought we had a pretty good season, and we're excited about building on that for next year with the core guys that we have returning. No, but we felt like getting those 2 road wins at Midwestern and Cameron were big, and 2 solid Lone Star teams. And anytime you win on the road, it's good. But when you win on the road in region, that's great, So we thought that was pretty cool. Upset we lost a close one against International on a neutral court in Pueblo. That would have been a big, I think, swing to our season, especially when we start counting, RPI and strength of schedule and everything at the end of the year. We look back at that and kick ourselves, especially how we lost. We felt like we gave that game away. We thought that we had some good and some bad things early on in the season, and we thought that we were at a good spot to keep building. So throughout the year, we had some ups and downs, but that good start definitely triggered, a good path for us. But I don't think we really hit our stride until late in the season. I thought we put together a few games towards the end of the season where we were starting to play more up to our potential. During the year, everybody's got to deal with injuries, right? And so we had our share, not too bad, but we had our share that we had to deal with. And so, I feel like we had some ups and downs dealing with that, change of lineup a little bit here and there. Thought some new guys to the program were still getting acclimated. I look like a guy like Mac, who's, buried in the depth chart at the 5, and then Will gets hurt, and next thing you know, he's starting, and he's getting buckets for us and producing, and then he earned himself a spot in the rotation, after that. And he was a guy that was new to the program, Janil, I thought, had a great year, but I still feel like it took a little bit for him to transition into, it's a tough role to slide into as a primary ball handler and someone that we looked at to be a leader on our team, coming from a different program. It took a little bit for him to transition. So, guys like that, I thought towards the, all the guys that were new to the program, I thought, once we got to the halfway point, they started figuring it out a little bit more, understanding our terminology, understanding their roles a little bit more, and started producing at a much higher level, which in turn led to some team success. Yeah, that felt great, and that was a good win, against a really good team, and they had took care of business out the gates against us earlier this year at home, and we really up to that point, we beat Black Hills, handily at home. That was a good win, but we didn't really have a lot of signature wins, and so we needed to beat a team, that was at the top in the standings, top 4 or 5 team, and so, we would have liked to have gotten an even higher seed, but getting a 4 and getting a home court was great. And I thought our guys competed at a high level for that game, and I thought mines did too. That was a good playoff atmosphere. Obviously fun to do that in Gallagly. I'm slightly embarrassed, to be honest with you, that it's taken so long for us to get a home playoff game. It's been a while, we expect to be there every year. We were happy that we took advantage of that, and then hit the road against the Black Hills team. And unfortunately, I thought Bobby Martin is another one that stepped up in that Mines game, though, in the sense of that was the first game that Jezza was out, as a starter. He had hurt his knee in the South Dakota Mines game. And, missing a starter, and Jezza was another one of those guys down the stretch that was doing really well. Was being more aggressive with it, was shooting the ball well, was attacking the rim, was playing at a high level. So when he went down, we were nervous about that. Bobby stepped in the starting lineup and just, you know, hit some big shots and competed at a high level, had a different level of focus that, quite frankly, I hadn't seen in a while out of him, so that was pretty cool to see. But then going to Black Hills, I think that caught up with us a little bit, you know, having Jezza out and then having Will, who, you know, he played, he probably shouldn't have, you know, he was pretty banged up and he was hurting, and when you're facing, you know, Joel Scott, you know, Player of the Year in our conference, Will's our best defensive forward. We needed him to be 100% for that game, and so we sort of ran into a brick wall, and Black Hills, give them credit, obviously they made a great tournament run, but they took care of business at home as the host, you know, in that second round game, and hats off to them for that game. Well, three-point shooting is definitely, you know, we were, I think, third in overall three-point field goals made, but you know, when you're looking at percentage, you know, we were lower down the road. So we're taking them, we're getting open shots, we just weren't hitting them, you know, enough. And you know, we had some guys shooting at a better clip than others, obviously, but that's a big thing for us this off season, is to increase the three-point shooting, especially out of the 2 and the 4. You know, we need to get some good three-point shooting out of those positions for the way our motion works. So we're excited about addressing that. We got a couple shoes to fill, you know, a couple positions to fill this off season, but our core is returning, you know, and we got some good young talent on the team, and Janelle will be our lone senior, you know, out of 11 returners, and so we feel really good about where we're at with who we're returning, with how recruiting's going now, and we feel like if we can just add a couple pieces and improve a little bit upon three-point shooting. I thought our post defense was better, but it can always be better. You know, there's a handful of areas of the game that we want to work out in the off season, and we're excited about doing that.